ICT 101 students. This is week 6, and I wanted to cover a few things here. Try to keep this kind of brief and maybe do a follow-up midweek with another video just to clarify a little bit more about your presentations for your group project. So for this week, as I mentioned in the email I sent out, you're covering the last chapter of the PowerPoint slides related to chapter 6. Those are here. And this chapter is really all about kind of the legal and ethical issues related to finding information and sharing information. Okay, so make sure that you read through these PowerPoint slides. Very important. I'll say that. I'm not going to go over this too much in detail, but I did put another document out here that I think will be helpful and goes directly along with these slides right here. That document is housed right here in this same module. What's in here is a Google Drive doc, and this one is related to the same thing. Again, this just breaks it down a little bit according to the PowerPoint slides. There's some information here on intellectual property, and then some information on writing style guides. This is related to APA style, MLA, Chicago style. Pay close attention. There will be a question on the assignment, Chapter 6 assignment, related to some of the information on this document as well as the PowerPoints. And then privacy as well. One of the things I'd like for you to think about related to privacy is try to think about where our idea of right to privacy comes from, and also think about, and you don't have to really do anything for this, but I think it's a good kind of to put you in a frame of mind to think about privacy, because a lot of times we don't think about privacy today. When you put information out there in the internet, is that information private? Does it belong to you anymore, or does it belong to somebody else? When you upload pictures to Instagram, or you put posts on Facebook or Snapchat, or you upload videos, who does that information belong to? Okay, that is your personal information, your personal pictures. But once you upload that stuff, is that still your personal information? Something to think about here. The other thing I like to tell people as well is to think about the idea related to your privacy. Does privacy matter to you? Are you worried about your privacy? Or do you just say, you know what, I don't care what the world sees about me. It doesn't really matter. So think about that as well. And think about how your right to privacy can protect you in your future, in your careers, in your professional lives, in your family lives, and that kind of stuff as well. Okay, there's a little bit on computer security as well, but one of the things I wanted you to focus on here is this. Go into this copyright.gov, and give me a second here. And just take a look around this site a little bit. One of the things that I want you to think about in particular for your presentations for your group project is related to the use of images and copyright. Are you allowed to use them? Are you not allowed to use them? So we're going to definitely make sure that we've spent some time focusing on that for this class. And then one of the things I want to do here is I'm going to go out and do a Google search. And doing Google search for media bias, and I just go to images. I'm doing a Google search for media bias, and then I'm going to search. So my search results came up, and here are all of the media bias images that are in this Google search right now at this minute. So how do I know whether or not these are back up here? So how do I know whether or not these images are okay for me to use in a presentation, if they're okay for me to use and maybe I'm creating a flyer or something like that? It's something that I think a lot of times students don't think about, other people don't think about, but we need to keep that in mind, that not all images are available and okay for us to use without permission. So one of the things we could do, and it's a nice kind of feature built right within Google image search, is that we can check on that. So what we can do here is I did a Google image search, media buys. Here are my results. You see the options that come up here in terms of, I can narrow the search to videos. I can kind of drill down a little bit. One of the things I want you to take a look at here is the tools, and note the search results on the screen. It will change when I drill this down a little bit, because what I want to do is I want to only include usage rights that allow for Creative Commons licenses. Okay. This would allow you to use images for anything that is a non-commercial purpose. Okay, so if you're trying to sell a product and you're using an image from a Google search to put on, a product flyer, or you're sending out, a mass email and you want to insert an image, you're trying to sell something, you have to be careful, because you have to then select commercial and other licenses, meaning you want to find images that will allow you to use them commercially for profit. Okay, Creative Commons is more of for education use, for healthcare use, for research use, nonprofit use, those kind of things. So we're going to click on Creative Commons, and then again, watch the screen. The image search will change. It narrows it down a bit as well. So here are the results. Now I know that these images I'm able to use those for nonprofit purposes. Okay, so when you're using your images, we'll get into more detail about that. For your final group project, you're going to be required to use images for your presentation. When you're finding your images, I want you to use this, or to use the copyright.gov and do your search through the copyright.gov. Okay, there's also another search you can use as well, and I'll post that link up in the final week, or actually I'll put it in next week 7 of the course, that you can use to help you search images through the Creative Commons as well. Okay, now I'm going to go back out here, and just to make sure that we're all clear, I'm going to go back out to the Home tab here. Again, we're in week 6. So what you have are those couple of things here: the PowerPoint presentation, that document that I just went over briefly. You have your Chapter 6 exercise, presentation discussion, and then there's another discussion. Okay, these are both group discussions, meaning that only your group members and you, for your final project, are participating in these. What this presentation discussion is I want you to try, as the instructions state here, is search YouTube or Vimeo or any other one of those video programs, and you can search for videos related to giving a bad presentation. So basically, what's the intent of this? Well, it's to get you to see what a bad presentation is like, and then to comment about it. Okay, so what about the presentation was bad? So you're going to do a search for, examples of bad presentations. Okay, you're going to get thousands of results. Look through them a little bit, check a couple of them out, watch a couple, pick one, and then you're going to just describe what about that presentation was bad. So you're going to, you're not going to post a video here. You're just going to talk about what about the video was bad. What about the presentation was bad? For example, was the presenter reading directly from notes the whole time? Did they not make eye contact with the audience? Were they fumbling and stumbling their words, and those kind of things? Okay. So that's the first discussion. The next discussion is related to your final group project. And what I want you to do with this one is kind of a way to get you to force you to start to think about your group project. So this one, again, it's a group discussion. You'll see that your groups are here. So when you click on this, you'll be able to see just your group members' names. I want you to use this as your way to discuss with one another what focus you're going to take related to media bias. Okay. This is why at the beginning of the course I was asking you to not just give a broad media bias search when you're doing that ProQuest and those other research for media bias, but I wanted you to narrow it down, and this is the reason why. So you're going to have I think 3 in all groups, except maybe one group has 2. I'm not certain, but three people in the group. And what you're going to be doing is coming to a consensus on whether or not you want to stick with one of your group members' media bias topics, or if you want to go with somebody else's, or you want to pick a new one altogether. That's up to you. Okay, but you're going to work together in this area to have those discussions about your project and narrowing the focus of your project down. Okay, so that again, that's going to be done in this area right here. You're going to create a presentation. Then this is due the final week of classes. You don't have to be concerned about that right now, but what I want you to be concerned about is narrowing down your topic using this area to communicate with one another. And I will send a message out regarding the importance of all students to use this area to communicate with your group members. And it's going to be a part of your overall grade as well. Okay? All right. That is all I have for now. Thank you for listening. And again, and as always, if you have any questions or concerns or anything like that, please let me know. Have a great evening and a great week. Bye.